Hello and welcome to another episode of Unprofessional with Daniel Sala. And let's just get it out of the way. The Celtics, man, they stunk it up. I don't get it. I mean, they just look like they gave up in that third quarter. And I mean, Tatum, 33 minutes, only scored 14 points. Jaylen Brown, 28 minutes, scored 12 points. And everyone always says, oh, your stars can't play like that. Our bench isn't even playing that great. And I don't know if it's the coach. Joe Mazzulla, I think he's a great guy. He seems like just, a straightforward, nice man. But Eric Spoelstra, for sure, has out-coached him, I think. And man, just the commentators were just tearing us apart too. Just the effort we were showing was not there. And I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not hating on anybody. It's just facts. I've said before, I've watched the Celtics since 2018, and it's like that guy there's a guy that always comments on the Celtics post where he says, I've been a lifelong fan since 2019. This is the worst day of my life, right? But no, it's just sad to see, because I know how good we are. I know the talent we have. But I don't know if it's a disconnect with the guys. I don't know if it's a disconnect with the coach. Coach Mazzulla said after the game he just didn't have the guys ready to play. And said that the Heat has that mentality, which they do. I gotta tell you, I've always been a fan of Jimmy Butler. When I started watching, he was with the Bulls, and I knew then, this guy's for real, right? I don't think there's anyone out there saying Jimmy Butler is a terrible basketball player, doesn't have it, whatever, but he's just one of those guys that's always been grinding, and he's just always been on teams where, they might not have had the best odds of getting to the playoffs, but he was going to play his style of basketball no matter what. And I've always respected that about the guy. I think playoff Jimmy's a real thing, but we got to talk about the other guys on this team. And I'm not even going to call them other guys, because these guys are just straight going to work. That Heat culture is a thing. I've always heard about it. Pat Riley cultivated that and made it what it is. And man, it's been put to work, because Bam Adebayo, that guy, he's a hustler, especially against those Celtics. He just does not have any chill with us, which he shouldn't. When you're a good basketball player, you should put your nose to the grindstone and really just give it to. Because man, we were just terrible as far as effort goes. And like I said, I don't know if that's a disconnect with the coach, because Tatum, after game 2, had said, Joe didn't miss any shots. Joe didn't turn the ball over. He said, I missed shots. I turned the ball over. He's defending his coach like that. And I respect it, but last night was it was rough. Bam Adebayo had 13 points. Gabe Vincent is straight going to town on the Celtics. He's just been exploding. 29 points in 35 minutes. Strus, 10 points. Martin, 18. Duncan Robinson off the bench, 22 points. Are you serious? I respect the Heat right now. They've got that mentality of we've been overlooked, and we don't care what you guys think of us, but we're going to go out there and play great basketball. And I just respect it, man. As a Celtics fan, and it's hard to say, right? They're in the same conference. But the Celtics aren't even playing like we're in the Eastern Conference Finals. There's no urgency, and that's what. And I'm not claiming to be a basketball wizard, but even the Celtics fans, posting on their Facebook feed, they're frustrated. They don't even want to watch the games, which is sad, because I love watching Celtics play basketball. I love good basketball, and that's especially why it's sad. But watching and finishing that game last night was just rough. It was. I'm like, I have to, right? But it's, man, we shot 39% from the floor last night, which is just is bad. 11 for 42, but 3-pointers. 13 for 17 at the free throw line, so that's not terrible. But I don't see it, man. I've been skeptical with these guys, man. Like, because they got it and they're good, but it's like they have to stay consistent with what they know they have, and they have to lean on their strengths and just not let the refs get in their head, because our guys are so good. Like, I believe we have one of the deepest benches and just deepest rosters in general, and we're just being out-coached right now. I think our guys, they feel dejected. The soul looked like it was just sucked out of them last night, which is just, it was sad to watch, man, because I love these Celtics. And you got, Charles Barkley saying this is an insult to the Celtics franchise, the fan base, and all that. And it's like, man, it's hard to argue. And it was just sad to see. I know they're good, and I don't know if it's a coaching situation that needs changed. I know Mazzulla signed a contract, so maybe they try to surround him with better assistants. Because the commentators even were pointing out last night, they said, Al Horford is talking to the guys before Coach Mazzulla was able to sit down, and they're saying how the assistants were adamant that he called a timeout in the first quarter, and he did. It was just successful, but like, why would you call the timeout in the first quarter? But I don't know. It's just frustrating to watch. I bought a pair of Tatum's, the Zoo, and he's just, man, watching that Game 7 against Philly was fantastic. And then I don't know what happened with the Heat. The Heat just figured us out. Jimmy Butler got in our heads or something, because the Heat just is ignited. They're on a roll right now. They got us down 0-3, man. Same thing with the Nuggets and the Lakers tonight. They're in the Western Conference Finals, and they're playing with the Lakers right now. It just looks like Nikola Jokic, man, the Joker. They have no answer for him. And Jamal Murray has just been dynamite. They were saying Bubble Murray, right? Because he went crazy when they were in the bubble during COVID and all that. But he's proven that he's that guy, man. When called upon, he's the perfect number 2 to Joker. And I don't even call him number 2, because that's just an insult, right? The guy is just straight a good basketball player, and I respect it. I respect good basketball, and I just hope that the Celtics can kind of turn their fortunes around and get back on track. I don't know what that answer is, but we're just going to have to see, man. We got Game 4 tomorrow as we're recording. So tonight, like I said, is the Western Conference Finals. Will the Nuggets take out the Lakers, or will the Lakers have an answer? We're going to find out, man. But been watching some like old WWE, and I was going through like some old Bray Wyatt promos, right? It's just a shame, because they had a really good thing with the Wyatt family, I believe. His promo that he did with Chris Jericho on their build-up to SummerSlam, it was on Raw. It was like a backstage tape promo. And Bray Wyatt had that cult leader, like spooky. And I know it's been done before with The Undertaker, and The Undertaker was the best at it. Respect to the past. But I think Bray Wyatt has done that type of character the best in the modern generation, especially in that time period. I think right now it's kind of just in a state of just like flux, I guess, because he's just not, I don't know if he's just not connecting with the fans on his ideas. I don't, if they're not getting pushed through the right way or what it is, but something is missing with him right now. And I've always been a big fan of Bray Wyatt. I remember him coming in as Husky Harris, and I just knew like there's more to him than Husky Harris, right? And he proved that. And I think he's a good dude, and I just hope he finds the right character and the right way to execute that to connect with the crowd, because he has a lot to offer. I think he is a great promo, and it's just I wish that they would have done more with him when they had him, and the first time around with the Wyatt family. But that's my dog, sorry. I was like, I kept hearing something. I'm like, that's her. I closed the door. I got a new like studio set up, and it's nothing crazy. I got this desk for my buddy, and I got this cardioid microphone with a boom mic, and I got it hooked up through my laptop, and I have these just set of like small speakers. So it's not a big setup, but it's my dog Lucy. She's a Chihuahua, man. She's crazy. Whining all the time. You ever had dogs like that? Where like, man, you like leave the house like, right? Oh jeez, like, I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of punk rock music lately. The Clash are great. I've always, I knew like the big hits, right? And I knew some deep cuts like Tommy Gunn. She is like not having this podcast right now, but I might have to go open that door here in a second. But the Clash, man, influenced so many people as far as like Green Day. And sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and open this door. This is unprofessional with Daniel Sal. I'm carrying this mic stand with me, but like they influenced Green Day and Rancid for sure. Like you can hear that. As far as like the ska influence and everything. I open the doors so hopefully she doesn't spaz it. But yeah, dude, the Clash are great. London Calling, like fantastic stuff. Tommy Gunn, I think that video, the whole deal is fantastic. It's just got that energy of just like, we don't care, and we're just gonna be here to make like just fantastically just punk hard music, and it's full of attitude, especially for that time, the 70s. I put the Clash up there as far as like great punk bands. They're for sure. The Ramones are my favorite. I just think they had that perfect mix of edge and I would say pop sensibilities, melody, because I've always loved melody in music, man. Like, heavy stuff's great, and you can, like, old Metallica. I like to mess with my cousin because he was into Metallica, man. Like, he saw him on Master Puppets tour and the Justice tour, and it's so he's into like the first few Metallica albums: Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All. And when I started listening to Metallica, it was around Death Magnetic. That's just I was in high school, like getting ready to go into high school, and I remember watching it Behind the Music with his son, actually, and it was a Metallica Behind the Music. It was fantastic. Those guys are legends in my book. But I like to give my cousin Zach crap because he's hardcore. Like those first 4 Metallica albums are the best, and I'll send him just crazy like Mama Said off of the Load Reload era stuff, and I totally get why he doesn't like it, but I grew up on like that newer stuff too, so like to me that's still Metallica. But yeah, dude, like Clash are great. I've been listening to them. Rancid, I think the Indestructible album is amazing.